Hey world, BGB. Today we got another Wish audio/music product review. Today we're looking at the Kokko Phaser. So let's dive into this, the Kokko Phaser. It's a couple nice things to say about the pedal. Made of aluminum, that's fun. After that, this pedal, this actual switch, is super smooth compared to say this thing, also from Wish, which will be featured in another video, has a super loud click on there. So I think it's cool that they invested in a good switch on here. Anyway, let's take a listen. So a lot of people think that this is a clone of the MXR Phase 90. I have to, respectfully disagree, mainly because the Phase 90 only has the rate or speed knob, and they don't have a depth control or a mix control, and neither does this, but we'll get into that in a sec. So then the question becomes, well, what is it a clone of? I did a lot of listening. On one hand, I was hoping I could kind of recreate what it was doing with the Boss phase shifter here. And it can get in the same ballpark, but it doesn't sound like a complete match. So that kind of left two other options that I knew of anyway. Phasers aren't really my thing most of the time. And I decided it was either the Blood Moon from TC Electronic, which I have here, or a Bad Stone from Electro Harmonics. I ultimately decided to go with the Blood Moon because I'm not going to buy 1,000 pedals for each video. I mean, just buying 2 or 3 for this one was already kind of outrageous, if you ask me. So the reason I think it's a Blood Moon is mainly just I went online and I listened to both the Bad Stone and the Blood Moon and compared it against what I could find on the Kokko Phaser, as well as my own playing with it. And the Blood Moon just seemed to be a bit closer. So yeah, let's do some comparison. I'll make that loop again. super, super close. Even if it's not an exact clone, it's in the ballpark. I'm still inclined to think it's a clone of this or the bad stone. Couple things to note though when you're looking at the Kokko pedal. You'll notice that this Kokko Phaser says rate, depth, and mix. All right, so here's the thing about phasers, all right? They take poles and do essentially little filter sweeps, just kind of bandpass filter sweeps, out of phase with the original signal. And how deep they go or are cut is determined by the depth. So the depth is the mix, is the easiest way to say this. But also, if you listen to this, you'll notice that the mix, which normally means mixing the dry signal, wet signal, doesn't get rid of the quote-unquote wet signal. Let's take a listen. It's super subtle right now, but it's still there. Yeah. I don't think anyone will argue with me right now that we are hearing wet signal. Let's bring it in. Let's compare that to the TC electronic. So it has the same rate and depth knob. So yeah, this is not a mix knob at all. If it were a mix knob, when you turn it all the way down, you wouldn't hear it. So if it's not mixed, what is it? If you were listening, it does the same thing in the Boss, in the TC Electronic feedback knob, as well as the Boss phase shifter resonance knob. i.e., it's really a resonance knob or a feedback knob, also called a shape knob. They all basically mean the same thing. It's definitely not feedback because it doesn't really feed into itself. It just sharpens up the curve of the bandpass. So, yeah, Kokko mislabeled their own knob. Thank you, Wish. So let's go ahead and fix that real quick, just for the sake of the video. There we go. Now that pedal's telling the truth. Let's just look past that now. Maybe it was something lost in translation, or maybe it's a matter of opinion, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. I think they mislabeled their stuff. So looking past that, how is this pedal as a clone of the TC Electronic Blood Moon, which it may or may not be? Let's try a little something different here. So the first thing that really sticks out to me about the Kokko versus the Blood Moon is that the Kokko has a lot more low end and mud to it, which might be good depending on what you're going for. If you're hoping to replace a Blood Moon or maybe a Bad Stone, maybe not. I say that though, but the boss phase shifter seems to be guilty of that as well. You might have noticed that I had to boost the input to the boss quite a bit because boss will drop the signal by a solid 6 decibels, and that's pretty bad. So boss isn't looking too great right now either. I still like it for recording, but live I would have to choose either the Blood Moon or the Kokko Phaser. And even then it kind of depends on what I'm playing. Yeah, it seems like the Blood Moon likes to have more lower and low mid information as opposed to doing that funk thing that I was doing. Kokko seems to be doing better. But part of that's because it adds in that low mid that you may or may not want. It definitely colors your signal. Of course, it's a phaser. It's supposed to. Do you want a phaser that has more lows and low mids, or do you not? If you do, Kokko may be the way to go. If you don't, then stick with the Blood Moon, which is only a little bit more expensive. Well, that's it. The Kokko Phaser. Yes, Kokko mislabeled one of their knobs. That's embarrassing. And yeah. I hope you enjoyed that. Not a good, perfect replacement for a Blood Moon. If you really like that Blood Moon sound, like I said, you can get one used for probably like $40 or $50, so only like $20 more than a Kokko Phaser anyway. If you wanted to be fat and got that low end, maybe you need that Kokko. Hope that was informative. Hope we learned something. I think we all grew as people here. Yeah, phasers, they're cool. Bye.